It's Christmas, the time where friends and family come together. And where there's friends and family, there's food. And some of my favorite things to make for Christmas are little bites, handheld bundles of joy, perfect for the holiday season. So these are my endive bites with candied nuts, pear, and blue cheese. All right, first of all, the candied nuts. Let's do this. This one is super simple. I like to make a little caramel, and in that caramel is some butter, some brown sugar, and some chopped up nuts. So the first thing in the pan is a little bit of butter. So this caramel is really easy. Just a little knock of butter and get that melting away. And then you could use white sugar if you wanted, but I love the naughtiness of brown sugar. It's sweet, but it's got some good character. So just let the butter and the sugar melt. And it's really cool because you can see right there, the sugar and the butter are already melting and it makes like an instant caramel. So once the sugar and the butter is almost dissolved, then you can go in with the nuts. These are walnuts just chopped up. You can use whatever nut that you like, but this is a great nut. They're already pre-chopped and then mixed with a little toasted brown sugar and butter. That is a perfect, easy candied nut. You want to keep it moving. Let the sugar, the butter melt away. Let the nuts get really nice and toasty, and it's perfect. It's a little sweet, it's a little buttery, it's a little crunchy. It's perfect with blue cheese pear on an endive boat. That smells delicious. So when the nuts are nice and toasted, let the nuts cool, and then something really great happens. When they cool down, the sugar gets really nice and crispy and you get crunchy, sweet nuts. All right, this one I make a little vinaigrette with it, and this vinaigrette is super simple. And these things are great because you can make most of this ahead of time, and then when your guests arrive and you're having a glass of wine and everything's set up, you can just put the dressing on it, and then you're eating something really delicious in no time. So the base for the dressing is some shallot. You could use red onion if you want. Red onion's really nice in this, but it is a raw onion in the dressing, so I like some shallot. Young onion flavor, good pop of crunch, and gives the dressing a good kickstart. All right, let's start with the dressing. So there's so many dressings that you could go buy and use for this, but this dressing is so simple. There's not a lot of work to make this anyway, so I like making this dressing specifically for these little bites. So, super simple. Start with the onions. And then I like this dressing to be nice and creamy. So 1 egg yolk, let's do it together. This is how I like to separate the yolk from the white. Give it a crack on the table. All right, and then I separate it, and then I just use each half of the shell as kind of little cups and just massage the egg through there. And the egg yolk makes the dressing really nice and creamy. And you might be wondering, you're putting a raw egg yolk in there? Don't worry, with a couple splashes of vinegar, it almost cooks the egg yolk, and that's my little secret. Put the egg yolk in there and the dressing becomes really nice and creamy. So just a shot of red vinegar. All right, so that's the tartness for the dress. Man, those nuts smell so good. Okay, Back to the Future. That's the tartness for the dressing, and then you want some balance in there. So a couple tablespoons of vinegar and then some golden honey. That's a really nice balance of the sweet stuff and the vinegar, and the nice little onion gives it some flavor, and then the yolk makes it really nice and creamy. So this is where I season it. Just a couple twists of salt and a couple twists of pepper, kind of make the onions and the vinegar jump off the plate. All right, and then a nice neutral oil. You can use extra virgin olive oil, you can use canola oil, whatever you like. Just drizzle it in slow, whisk it, and you get a nice, thick, creamy dressing. Let's do it. All right, give it a taste at this point. It's nice, it's sweet, it's tart, it's got the taste of onion, it's perfect. And then just to finish it, a few chives. That's it. You can use green onion if you wanted, no problem, baby. But I like just a little bit of chives. All right, that's perfect. That dressing is not only good for this, but that's a basic quick vinaigrette. And for some sweetness in this dish is great because it's handheld. They're little snacks. When you got the dressing and the nuts done, the rest of it is kind of assembly. So I like some fruit in this. You could use apple. I'm just using a bit of red pear. Yummy. Cool, and then I like to stack them up. Just slice it like that, and then dice it into little cubes. It's perfect punch of crunch and fruit. So those are all the hard parts done, and now it's time to assemble it. This is the endive. Belgian endive, they're nice and crunchy. They're also known as Witloof chicory. It also sounds like an out-of-work racehorse. Whitloop Trickery trailing the pack by a long shot. Looks like he's eating a Subway sandwich and has stopped running completely. Actually, he's laying down. Whitloop Trickery, I think, just died. Anyway, it sounds like a racehorse, but these things are really cool and easy to clean. So there's a butt end on it. I just cut it off, and then you can peel the endives out, and they make perfect little boats. All right, so once all the endives laid down, then you can start building it. You could use, honestly, whatever cheese that you like, but I love the sharpness of blue cheese. It goes well with the nuts, but you want to be careful. Like, I take my time, crumble it in the endive boats. You want every single bite with a little bit of that blue cheese. Okay, once you have the cheese in the boat, then just do the same thing with the candied nuts and the pear. This is the fun part. All right, these boats are loaded, full of crunch, full of texture, full of color, full of flavor. If you want to make these ahead of time, just get it to this stage, and then put some wet paper towel over it, saran wrap it, put it in the fridge. The guests show up. Hey, Nick, Karen, nice to see you. Still at the accounting firm? Nice, I'm coming this year to do my taxes, Karen. Yeah, put the coats in the corner. And then bring these out, dress them, and then the party continues. But if you want to eat them right away, just take the dressing and take your time with it, and then just make sure that you drizzle it into each little boat. Those are delicious. That, my friends, is a delicious little handheld holiday bite, full of crunch, full of flavor, full of color, full of texture, and it's gonna give your soul a nice big hug. And the best part is, you get a cocktail in your hand, you can say hi to everybody when you're hungry. It's so good. It's ridiculously good. That is a handheld explosion of flavor. They're cool because the endive boat, you can just hold them. It captures all of that crunch, all of that texture, and then the nuts are really nice and sweet. The pear is sweet, but when you get to blue cheese and the dressing and the shallot, it's perfectly balanced. They're just delicious and great for a party. Now, if you excuse me, I have some wine to drink. Oh, and remember, sharing is caring. Is that how it goes? Sharing is, I don't know. You guys, it's ready.